got Carrie Garr from Caption Call. She's got, oh, are you going to just stay back there and talk?
No, I can come on up.
Why don't you come on up?
I will.
Yeah, then people.
Come on down.
She was just telling me a little bit about her stuff. She asked if she could come visit today, and you guys, she's got something pretty cool going on there. So we'll let her tell you a little bit more about what she's got going. And Carrie, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I have a question to ask everyone. Has everyone here used a phone? Everybody? Everybody? Everybody here's used a phone. Doesn't matter what kind, doesn't matter if it was a cell phone, doesn't matter if it was a landline, everybody's used a phone. That's great because everybody wins a prize. I got a little prize for everybody. I'm going to talk while I walk around if that's okay. That's okay. These are little jar openers. I'm going to tell you about what's going on. Have you used a phone before?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
A couple of
That's good.
times.
I want to make sure.
I could sure use that, so thank
thinking.
you. Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
So I am with Caption Call, and what Caption Call is we are part of a federally funded program. There is no cost to this program because you have all been paying for this program in your taxes since the 1970s. Everybody remember the 70s? I see, more winners
still
here.
do.
That was when the good music was around. The program itself is on your phone bill. So at the bottom of your phone bill, it says FCC tax, Federal Communications tax, or it may say relay tax. That's where the money comes from for this program for the last umpteen years that this program has been going, since 1970s.
She's good, I think, yeah.
What it does is it funds this phone. I'm going to show you this phone. Got a little bit extra of these guys. This is the phone. Looks like an old-fashioned phone, landline phone. It transcribes a conversation, both sides. So if you're talking to your friend, if you're talking to your grandkids, you're going to be able to see what you say and what the other person says. Comes right up on the screen. It's an amplified phone too. So what that means is there's a giant volume button down here on the bottom, giant volume button. The volume you're able to turn up. We want you to be able to hear who you're talking to. And what you can't hear or understand, you're able to read and follow the conversation right along. It's a very easy phone to use, very easy. I have a gentleman that's 104 that uses it. So you can't say, I'm not technology savvy. He's 104. He doesn't use technology. He knows how to pick up the phone, dial it, talk to someone. That's all you got to know how to do. Because everything else, you're just going to see that conversation right there on the phone itself. The other nice thing is we send out a technician to hook it all up for you. You don't have to do anything. You can sit there and look cute. You single ladies, please don't hit on my technicians. They're single guys. Just don't hit on them. Just leave them be. They will hook everything up for you. They put your contacts in the phone. So if Betty's calling you, you're going to see Betty's name come right across the screen for you. If it's an unknown caller, you're going to see that too. You can see it right before you answer. Here's the really neat thing. You get to choose how you want that phone to work. All you need is electricity. That's all you need. You don't have to have a landline. It can pair with your cell phone via Bluetooth technology. It can work with that. So when your cell phone rings, that phone rings. It can work with a landline if you still have a landline. If you're like, I don't want it to talk to my cell phone, but I still want that phone. We can give you a brand new Mason City phone number, and you will never have a phone bill, and you can call anyone in the United States, and anyone can call you. You cannot call overseas. It won't allow you to call overseas. So if you've got a boyfriend living in Paris, you can't call him.
And it's a scam, guys. Don't
Yep,
so
don't
don't
be
call
calling
for
a
that.
boyfriend in Paris. That's a scam. Don't be doing that. But if you have relatives overseas and they're vacationing, you can't call them, but they can call you. They can call you. And there's never a bill, there's never a fee. If you'd like to come on back, I've got the phone up. You can do a demonstration and hear what it is. You can mess around and play with it. There's also information, and there's more goodies too back there if you'd like to come on
So,
back.
and just to say again, for whoever qualifies, and sounds like it's fairly easy to qualify?
Yes. The qualification is you're self-certifying. What that means is that you're recognizing yourself. I don't want to know your history, so you don't need to tell me if you've been seen by a doctor. That's your personal information. So if you notice that maybe your kids are saying, hey, Mom, I'm yelling at you more, go get your ears checked, or maybe your TV's on 30 or 40 or 50 or 70, that you probably have some hearing loss and you'd qualify. If you're using your speakerphone a lot on your cell phone and holding it up to your ear quite a bit, that's usually an indicator that you've got some hearing loss. The phone is 60 decibels. Our cell phone and landline are only 30. So that's why it's allowed to be so loud. I can turn on the ringer for everybody to hear, but it'll make you all jump. I'm sorry. But it's very easy to qualify. You're just self-certifying, saying, yes, I could use this phone. Yes, it would be a benefit to me.
And it's free.
Yes. I can't say that F word, but yes, it's no cost to you. No cost to you.
You guys, questions anybody has, and I think even in your packets here, there might be some more information in there, but please afterwards or whatever, stop back there, and we really appreciate you're here. I would have had no idea that this existed, that it was free, that we've been paying for it since the 70s.
I know.
So anyway.
It's a great service. For any of you that may know where Britt is, I'm sure most of you know where Britt is. That's where I was born. My dad lived in Garner and then worked at Winnebago for many, many years until he retired. So up here is,
Nice.
family and home.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate and appreciate your thinking of us
Thank
and
you.
finding
Thanks.
out about. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Here, this I grabbed one, so there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I do have that. All right, I'm just gonna grab this over here. So, Medicare, Medicaid. You guys, and these guys are picking on me because, yeah, I have Medicare. It's confusing as heck to me. I went into it kicking and screaming. I still complain about it on a daily basis. Whoever will listen to me, I'm going to complain about it. I don't know. And my thought process is they shouldn't do this to old people, right? I think it's confusing, but we've got two amazing people here today. Go ahead.
Let me.
Dee, yeah. Two amazing people here today that are going to help us. I told them they were panelists. Don't tell them any different. So they're here to help. They're here to answer questions. So I do want this to be interactive. I have questions. I hope you guys have questions, and I know that they'll have answers. So anyway, Dee is with SHIP, Senior Health Insurance Information Program, again, which is free, right? Mm-hmm. And Dee, can you just kind of explain a little bit about what you do, where you do it, and what it's all about?
We are supported and trained by the Iowa Insurance Commissioner's Office. We have to take a 45-hour class. There's several interviews before we can get in. We take a class. We take a yearly test that we have to pass. And so there's a little bit of pressure that way, but it is an important area. So we're up to 8 counselors now here in Mason City, which is really good. I don't know.
Where are you located at?
We're the Muse Norris building
Norris
across from Restore.
Habitat? Okay.
Yep, and Habitat. And we're getting ready for our big open enrollment. And how many of you is everybody here on Medicare? No? Okay. So.
Good. Nice. So
I'll have more.
Okay, all right. Yeah, well, so basically, it's all free. People come in and you kind of explain different things to them and they take notes. You don't sell them anything. Mm-mm. You just explain to them basically what Medicare is all about, and there's the word called supplements and all this stuff that they ask me, do you have this, do you have that? And I'm like, I don't know. I go to some guy that just told me what to get, and so like I say, go ahead.
I have a question because, wait a minute, let me check this out. I'm so confused too. Okay, so I'm on Part A only.
Okay.
My guy told me, since I'm still working, to stay on Hy-Vee's insurance.
Sure.
But other people I work with, they say they're on both A and B and also carry Hy-Vee's insurance. So why are they and not me? What's
They're a little bit double covered.
double covered?
If Medicare A, hospital, B is doctors and clinics, think of, I was lucky enough to be on insurance programs that my employer paid 80% and I had the 20-80-20.
Right.
So by keeping your employer's insurance and with Part A pays secondary and will kick in a little bit after the 80%. So that should help you with your out-of-pocket.
Right, and so, and then if I do go in the hospital,
It's still your Hy-Vee insurance would be primary.
and then this kicks in. Yeah, okay. But I'm not paying a supplement,
Right.
so that
That's-
saves
Yeah,
money.
you are really with your Hy-Vee insurance because you're paying for that
Right.
a little. I don't think it's probably one of your
So it
benefits.
doesn't matter when you go on B.
No. You can start A when you turn 65.
Right.
There's no premium. So if you've worked 10 years, again, I'd use the free word, but it's covered.
Okay.
Then when you start Part B is when the clock starts ticking that you want to add prescription drug coverage. You have, depending upon whether you're signing up for Part B 3 months before your birthday or during that open enrollment, you have some time to start your prescription drug plan. If you wait a year or more, there is a permanent fine, a penalty, and it goes up each year. So
If I wait, what?
if for your prescription drug plan. Once you start Part B, so let's say you retired January 1st, and so you start Part B, then we would look at a supplement to pay for that 20%, and then a prescription drug plan, which would also start.
So just keep working.
Well,
I
Sort
have
of.
I have a question. I kind of want to pull this in and hypothetically, okay, do you have, right now, are you just going to keep working?
My plan is.
Okay, all right. So just to guide her down the road, should she have in her mind, because you have to open enroll during this time, and forgive me if I asked a stupid question. So if she decides in February, done, so what happens to her then in February? Then she can just pick up? Would she have had to go, do you only sign up during the open enrollment?
no, because she would be leaving her employer's insurance,
Okay.
that's an excuse
Okay.
to sign up for full Medicare.
You see where I'm going with that. So I just wanted to make sure your timing and as you plan this out. So, okay.
For people who have health savings plans, we want to drop that, stop adding to that 6 months before you really go on A and B. There's some tax problems with
So
that.
the difference with her and I, they forced me into this because I'm self-employed. Am I correct on that?
I'd have to look at, I don't know why you started, so.
Because I was 65. I mean, I turned 65 in August, and by that, then I had to do something by the end of December to start then.
So your employer kicked you off, huh?
Yeah.
There
But-
are employers who at age 65 say, okay, you're done. You're off our company plan. They don't have to kick them off. So that's why my little joke with that.
Yeah, okay, all right, so that's why, I mean, because they told me I had to. I would have just soon kept my insurance that I had since I was 18 years
Okay.
old.
Yeah.
You know, I was passionate about that, so anyway, okay. So then, you guys, we kind of flip into Mary is from, she's from Good Shepherd. She's been in nursing home administrator for what, 30?
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years. And we felt that, you know, between these two guys, even though they look adorable together up here, we felt that, you know, that to flow from one into the other and, you know, a lot of questions and, you know, what's the biggest misconception that families have? How many days does Medicare cover? And, you know, I know we're kind of dipping into the deep end there, but just to kind of.
For the nursing home?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about a Medicare benefit period.
And feel free to talk louder.
Oh, can you hear me? I'm sorry. Maybe I should hook up through the phone back there.
I know.
60 decibels. There you go. So a Medicare benefit period is up to 100 days. I think what I've heard over my years, the most common misconception is people hear 100 days and they feel like that's an automatic. It's not. So what has to happen if you have traditional Medicare, you have to continue to be making progress and marked progress towards your goals. If you go and you're having physical therapy, occupational therapy, after 30 days, you've kind of what we call plateaued, you're just not making it to that next level to keep improving, then we need to issue a notice of non-coverage. So I think the common misconception is you have up to 100 days. I rarely see people getting anywhere close to that because they've either rehabbed back to their prior level of functioning and they're going off of the skilled services and perhaps going home, or they just can't make it to that next level and they're going to need to look at perhaps a long-term stay and go to an intermediate level of care. So, does that help?
It does.
Okay.
It does. And you know what popped into my brain, and I think doesn't have anything to do with this, is should people out there, should they buy nursing home insurance? I hear people talking about that a lot. My parents both had it. My dad passed at an early age. My mom was able to use it, so she did use it. So I don't know on that. I know sometimes people try and sell you life insurance policies or something like that say that's going to help you with this, and I don't mean to confuse anybody until I'm confused, but yeah.
You know, long-term care insurance policies are one avenue that we have people that are utilizing. And it'll pay, you know, whatever their premium or whatever they bought at the time, there was a daily rate associated with that. Usually the policies implanted an inflationary factor so that over the time and the years that was, you know, increasing so that it would do some to keep up with the costs. I don't know how to say or if that's the right decision for you to buy that insurance. What I can tell you is that unless you buy it at a relatively young age, it will be very, very costly for you because here again, they look at your medical condition and they're looking at what diagnoses you might have that would put you at a higher risk level for entering a nursing home, and then your rates are going to be probably reflective of that. So for some people, it might be a right decision if you've got, you know, a how many generation farm that you're trying to protect. But if you don't have, you know, a large number of assets, that might be money that you could better spend somewhere else.
Okay, that then flows me into another question that I have, and this is from, you know, being a realtor. We sadly have to put their property on the market because they can't afford to be in the nursing home. Can you speak on that? I know it's a big subject.
It is a big subject, but I'm going to try to break it down just a little bit. So say that someone comes into the nursing home and they're planning on a short-term stay. We see that more and more, that is the person's desire to come in, receive some therapy, gain their strength back, and go back to their own residence. And, you know, for some people that is a perfect plan and it works well for them. For other people, it does not. And they may not have the funding sources to pay to be in the long-term care facility. And we may need to look at Medicaid as an option. So for Medicaid, you can maintain your home if you have the intent that you want to return home. But the problem is, in order to qualify for Medicaid, your resources have to be below $2,000 in order to qualify, and your monthly income that you receive will be issued to the long-term care facility as your client participation. So you won't have the funds to pay for, the utilities, the water, the electricity, the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance. So sometimes that's where it comes into a factor of sometimes people's children are paying those expenses, whether they do it short term just to see if, we can get mom or dad back into the home. But if it looks like it's going to be more of a long-term stay, then people look at selling the home and spending those resources for their care.
And I don't mean to ask all the questions here, you guys, so help me out on this, but
So,
go ahead.
how, if you decide to let your siblings buy your home, how long do you have before you get in trouble with the IRS before you go into a nursing home? Isn't there a 5-year waiting period or something like, or is it longer than that now?
Okay, so let's speak to that a little bit. The question is about, I think if I'm hearing right, the 5-year look-back period for Medicaid. So I want to be clear that we need to look at, there's Medicaid, which is the state entitlement assistance program, and then there's also some IRS guidelines. So, I've heard people before say that, well, the IRS says I can gift this much money. Well, that's the IRS. Medicaid has a 5-year look-back period where they're looking to see if you have given anything away or you have transferred or sold it for less than fair market value. And they are not very forgiving on that at all. If that happens and you've given something away, so if there is nothing else you hear me say today, do not give any assets away. There's a question on the Medicaid application itself that will ask you if you have. If you have, the state is going to ask you for more details about that, and they will penalize you by making you ineligible for the length of time of that asset was worth. Okay, does that make sense?
But what they can do too is there are certain things they can go prepay a funeral.
Yes.
And what else is there that they can use that money to pay down on?
So what we call is a spend down. When we have someone who is working to gain Medicaid eligibility, and say, let's just give an example. Let's say someone has $50,000 of cash or CDs, whatever. We look at, the first thing that I try to look at with a person is, do they have a prepaid burial? Because if you do not, you can go and get that taken care of with a funeral home. The key thing is, it needs to be in what is called an irrevocable burial trust. The word irrevocable means that is the only thing that money can be used for. So if you go to, I don't want to pick a funeral home and seem like I have a favorite, but we have a lot on this road. You go to any one of them and you put down $10,000 to pay for your final expenses, what you've chosen, that money never comes back to you, okay? That is the way that the state will accept that, is that if there is any leftover funds from that, it will go back to the estate recovery. But that is a perfectly acceptable. Now what causes problems is you need to have it locked into that irrevocable burial trust.
And who sets that up? Does an attorney set it up or does the funeral home set it up?
The funeral home actually sets that up. Each one has a pre-needs person. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you call them, but that is what they do. They will sit down with you. They will ask you what you're interested in, what you would like. It's like a contract, $300 for opening a grave fee, and it'll be all spelled out to match that total. And that is what the state will want to see. And that is an acceptable way to spend money down and to make sure that your final expenses are covered and your family isn't covering those expenses for you.
So one question I have, and maybe you can't answer this, I know I keep asking these questions, but and I think 10,000 might be a little, if you can bury somebody at that, what if, like, say, some people already have their plans done. They may have done them 5-10 years ago where they did that prepaid. What happens to the cost of inflation?
And I don't know that I can answer that 100%, because that's not, I'm not part of that process. But the one thing that I would encourage people to do is to reach out to who you have that plan with. Yes.
Okay.
Because sometimes what we've done is, we've had someone who, in a nursing home, and please don't hate me, please don't hurt me, but the state allows you to keep a Medicaid resident $55 a month for their personal needs. That is not an individual nursing home amount that we determined. That is what the state tells us, that they keep that, you collect the rest, and you bill the state for the difference. So sometimes if someone's money adds up over years and we've got to keep them below that 2,000, when we get up there and we need to look at spending something, the first thing that we'll ask is either the resident or the family contacts the funeral home to revisit to make sure that we have enough money in the plan to fully fund, so that the family isn't, having to add to that at the time of death. So
I know we kind of went down a rabbit hole on that, but with what we've talked about so far, anybody have any questions right now?
don't be shy. We're not shy up here.
I'm going to flip D. I'm going to put him back on the hot seat.
Oh,
Give me an example of when somebody, somebody comes in, Mary, pick on Mary. Mary comes in, sets an appointment with you. How hard is it to get in with you? Probably coming up, is it getting harder?
October 15th to December 7th will be difficult. We're sending out our letters to the people that we've seen in the last year, and it'll have our phone number and our scheduler, Shelley. I don't call her secretary, she's our scheduler, and she works full-time, and so she'll try and fit people in. But it'll go so fast with voicemail.
So you
that
just
she will
told
get
me
behind.
that you've got a class coming up, there's new stuff coming down the pike.
Oh.
So every year we have to re-educate ourselves?
The advantage, October 13th, I'm getting trained with the new plans.
2027.
Yeah, yep. And we'll see what the website looks like. They'll show us, because that's been changing. And then we'll start with people coming in with their prescription drug plans, and we update their medication. There are some other things I'll run you through. I will run you through the waiver, which tells you what I can and cannot do. And I will also ask, I will show you a form and say, is your income above or below this? We do LIS screening, that's low income subsidy. It helps with the prescription drugs, the premiums, the cost, the co-pays, and the deductibles. And that really helps.
So what D does, and again, he's not selling you anything, but what you do is you find out what their life is like, and you make suggestions to them what might look good for them.
I'll show them their options, and I run numbers. I don't try. I could sign you up for a prescription drug plan right from my computer that day, but I will show you all of the numbers, and we'll lay them out with that. And the comparison tool that I have access to will come out with instead of saying the cheapest, it's the least expensive plan, and that's what I recommend. But we'll go into the details. We'll make sure that all your medications are covered. Make sure you get to determine which pharmacy, but we're looking for a preferred pharmacy because it's the cheapest.
So and that's the Part B?
That's Part D. Part D.
Okay.
Part B is the doctors and clinics.
Okay.
Okay.
Therapies.
Yep. And that you sign up. I can't sign you up for Part B.
Or A.
Or A, right. And that's getting a little more difficult. with.
So what would be the benefits if they come out and visit with you to sign up for the Part D when they need A and B?
Well, to really get going with A and B, I'll tell them what they need to do
Okay.
and where to go for that. You know, if they're currently employed, what forms they need to know. You need to prove that you have comparable coverage before you retire, before you go on. They don't want someone who hasn't had any insurance or prescription drug plan, and then suddenly at 65 they're going to sign up. They don't like that.
I think that's maybe what I did, but okay. Yeah, I told you, I went kicking and screaming.
You may have said it, but, so if we come to you for assistance to figure out what's the best plan, do you, you don't write the plan?
No.
No, you just send us to somebody
Well,
that sells it?
prescription drug plans, I can sign you up from the computer. Also, Medicare Advantage plans, I can sign you up from my computer.
But we don't
because-
have to sign up. I mean,
No, you can sign up yourself, but it's easier for the prescription drug plan especially for me to do right from the computer. Medicare Advantage plans I can do because so many of them do not have a premium. A traditional supplement that fills in the 20%, we'll come up with a comparison, we'll find the least expensive plan, maybe the least expensive 3. That the client has to call and sign up themselves because the insurance provider wants to reach into your bank account and make sure they get paid.
Did that make sense? It didn't to
it
me,
did
but
make
if
sense. I
it,
had another question that just flipped right out of my head.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
Speak up whenever you think of it again.
so what Dee's gonna do is he's gonna look at you, all the medications that you take and everything, and then assess or show her options of different plans that you could be on.
Okay, it came back to me. So we can call Shiv beginning October 15th?
Well, before then, you want to call before then. There's a sheet in your packet with the important phone numbers, I believe.
This is the packet from B that has the folder that's within a folder.
So they will get busy, so you will want to go ahead and give them a call plenty of time ahead
After September 1st,
after September 1st.
yeah.
Here it is.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
If I'm understanding you correctly, you can help a person sign up for an Advantage plan, but not a supplement, is that correct?
I can sign you up for a Medicare Advantage plan.
And that's because those other people are getting paid and you're not getting paid. Am I saying that
you're
kind of
right.
the nuts and the bolts?
And can you suggest, or you can go over supplement plans though, just, and then people can sign up on their own?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the educator. He's the trainer, the teacher. There's no one size fits all on this, you
Well,
guys. It's
know if they need 'em,
everybody.
but they might.
Everybody's
I mean,
lives
it's
are
okay.
different. Everything is different, and they're gonna, and he's gonna pass out some extra fun stuff for you.
Extra fun, yeah. Why don't?
But seriously, like I say, one size fits all doesn't happen. Everybody is different. Everybody's lives are different.
Supplement and premiums. I don't-
Boy, that went fast.
Would you like one?
She took some too.
Oh, okay,
So
but
yeah,
I'm-
she's helping you.
What I'm handing out is a Medicare Advantage booklet, and this is when you can do a kind of a manual comparison. And there's some good pages in there for people that help organize their thoughts and what their needs might be for a Medicare Advantage plan. Mary is handing out a supplement plan.
Deb, you got a question?
My question, I helped my husband sign up for Medicare, and we went through our regular insurance person. Is that, I did look online and it said she doesn't get a kickback or anything. Would I be more beneficial to come see you?
The reason I'm doing this, volunteering, is when I turned 65, I went to my insurance person and said, hey, I need a supplement. He said, fine, sign me up. I have a good supplement. But I didn't know that there are 35 plans. He sold me one. So that's what I offer. I can show you many options and based on numbers, because there's no advantage for me to enroll you in something.
That makes sense, Deb. I mean, it's really something, you owe it to yourself to see what's out there, and if you're getting the best that you can do on that.
This is a regular supplement.
So,
So
Mary,
you have two
I just
booklets
wanted
now,
to,
although I didn't bring enough.
I was just going to ask Mary, as people come in with the Medicare, they're on Medicare, and does somebody at the nursing home, the people that are living there, do they have to sign up every year too to stay on the Medicare?
No, nope, not the Medicare. Just traditional Medicare or a Medicare Advantage. You know, if someone chooses to make the change from either traditional Medicare to a Medicare Advantage plan, or they choose to go back from Medicare Advantage to traditional, you know, it's their choice. Most people, especially at a private pay status, will be looking at the Part D plans, the prescription drugs, because you want to make sure that you know, let's say midway through the year you got put on a drug that's very expensive. What if your plan that you're on now does not cover that really costly drug? When you come up to open enrollment, you would certainly want to look to see if there was a plan that would cover that expensive drug so that you had less out-of-pocket costs.
Mary, what you said, so you said there's regular Medicare.
Traditional Medicare,
And then there is,
Medicare Advantage.
can you explain the difference between the two? Can somebody explain the difference between the two?
Dee, I think that one was directed to you.
For traditional Medicare, the red, white, and blue card is the card. When you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan, that card kind of takes over for your A and B. You need to save the card, but now it's a Medicare Advantage plan. And with that, there are additional things you've got to look at with prior approval. Make sure that your primary doctor, clinic they accept a Medicare Advantage plan. With a traditional Medicare, basically you can go anywhere in the country and go anywhere that accepts Medicare. Doctors don't have to accept that. With a Medicare Advantage plan, it gets a little bit trickier with, is it offered in your county and traveling and things like that.
And are there different of the Advantage plans? Are there different plans in the Advantage plans?
yeah.
And if there's all these different plans, then they're all going to cost different.
If you got a Medicare Advantage booklet, and that has, I think, the state.
I thought we had the same booklet
No,
we were handing out.
I didn't bring enough. We're about out, and they don't want to print new ones because they're changing.
Oh, because they're changing.
So if you look at a Medicare Advantage booklet, there are all sorts of plans in there. There's like 40 plans to start with. And I look at the numbers. First of all, you have to see if they're offered in your county. And then I go down to the maximum out-of-pocket, and that can vary so much. I think the lowest one this year is $3,200. Okay, that's out of your pocket, so that's kind of like a deductible. You'll end up paying that. There are some Medicare Advantage plans that go all the way up to $9,000 maximum out-of-pocket, and I steer people away from those because of the numbers. Okay. I want you covered, and that's my goal. And my second goal is to save you money. So.
Can I ask one question
Yep.
too? If a husband and wife versus just a female or a male, if they're a couple, do you guys look at that differently?
You are now separated. There's no family plans in Medicare.
Okay.
Say that again?
There's no family plans in Medicare. So where we had family coverage before Medicare, you are separate now. So it's just Mom and dad are alone.
D.
Just a comment, I have a friend who they keep, some of the medical institution will not accept it 1 year, and then next year they won't accept an Advantage plan. I mean, they can cut them off, right?
We've had trouble with negotiations. You know, it's the insurance carrier and the healthcare provider, and they have to agree. And we've had a couple with, I'll say Mercy, I think it was Humana, that it went right up to December 31st, and I had clients who received the notification that maybe January 1st they weren't going to be covered because there wasn't going to be a contract. So in December, I moved 3 people, and then, of course, New Year's Eve, 5 o'clock or whatever, they settled, and so their insurance would have been good January 1st, but we had already moved them. So yes, you're right. It depends on the negotiations.
I just want to make that, I'm not on an Advantage plan, but I know a friend of mine that
Yeah.
has that problem.
And we don't like that. We don't like to have our coverage kind of up in the air.
Got one more question here.
If I'm healthy and I select an Advantage and then something happens, and during that, and I wait until the October, December period, do I have any problem changing to Medicare? Now I've got some big problem. Is that?
You could. We tell people with the traditional Medicare supplement, choose wisely. It's like a marriage. You can get out of it, but it could be costly. Okay, so if I want to switch from an F plan to a G plan or something, I'm exposed to medical questions. They can underwrite me. Not all companies do this. If you have a traditional supplement, we can put you in a Medicare Advantage plan. There are no questions involved there.
So are you
But
thinking
I
that
mean,
if you get,
Advantage, not the supplement. Like if I'm on if I select Medicare Advantage,
Mm-hmm.
I'm healthy. Do you do a supplement if you have Advantage?
No.
Okay, so I'm on Medicare, like if I select a Medicare Advantage,
Mm-hmm.
I'm healthy, and then something big happens and I want to change to Medicare, not the supplement, but just the Advantage to Medicare, is that a problem?
Well, no, if you would just want to stick with A and B and not have a supplement.
Oh, but the supplement's gonna be the
Supplement
problem.
fills the 20, and that's what would expose
be
you
the
to
problem.
medical questions.
Okay, thank you.
what happens when something happens, they can't afford that medication that they need and they're not on that plan? Because you can only sign up during this time, October to December?
There are some other windows. Is it every month if you're in
If you're in Medicaid,
a facility? I think you can change every
not
month.
private, not private.
No, not,
No.
okay.
But sometimes what happens, so say that you're put on a medication, we deal with this, quite routinely. Someone is put on a new medication, the pharmacy will call and say this isn't covered under their plan. So then it's a call back to the doctor, and we say drug XYZ isn't covered under this person's plan. Is there a like drug that you would recommend that would be covered under their plan, and we work it that way. So that would be an option,
What if there
as well.
isn't? What if there isn't and the people can't afford that drug? Does that happen?
Yes. My scheduler, Shelley, Rural Outreach, I think is her title. She helps find medication
Funding.
for people who cannot afford it.
That's.
It's not
yeah.
necessarily overnight, but she can pull some strings. But that can happen.
So there's opportunities for people that, do you say fall through the cracks? I mean, that they're,
When you come in for a prescription drug plan, we'll look at your medication and then run the first comparison. I've had some where the formulary doesn't cover what they take. And so and it doesn't necessarily bring up a generic. So I will look for generics and we'll see if we can lower the costs that way. That's what we can do. I mean, I I will work until I find something. And I've had people who, it scares me when the numbers come up. I had a lady who, she was only on a couple of one medication. $120,000 a year popped up with her cost. And it won't be over $2,100 now because of changes with the prescription drug coverage. But I was stunned when I saw that number. It's the highest number I've ever seen. And I looked at my client and said, are you used to paying a lot for your medication? And she said, yes. I didn't ask her what she had. I put in the generic and it went down to $1,000 for the year. Yeah.
This is kind of an off question. Do our veterans get anything special, or is everybody over 65 treated the same, depending on what you have going on? I mean, I know everybody's different, everybody's income's different, but do they offer does anything else in addition get offered to the veterans?
As far as?
I don't know,
Medical coverage,
Yeah.
yes. I have several veterans who, and I didn't realize there's different levels of coverage at the VA.
because of the years whatever year that they
I think,
served.
yep, yep.
Service
Yeah.
connectivity.
And income.
And income, okay.
Make a difference, yeah.
And I don't know if disability, so I have some that I did, let's just say I had a lady who retired at 92, and she was getting all of her health coverage. She had A and B, or no, A,
TRICARE.
and everything else was coming through the VA. So, I do have a couple of other people that the
Do you
VA can
guys,
help
do you
out.
work with the VA, or because if you're a veteran, then you get to go to the VA, but can you only doctor with them? Can you choose
No,
who you
you
can?
can.
Now you can choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've kept my Medicare, and of course because the supplement went way out of line as you get older. So I've used the Medicare and then paid the difference.
So you're just on straight Medicare, you're not on a supplement?
Right. Straight Medicare and then the VA.
And the VA.
Okay, perfect.
And there are people who get their medications through the VA,
Mm-hmm.
so they don't need a prescription drug plan. You know, there are some options
So
for
there
them.
are some differences,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And there are differences, and there are things that if you think you might have any connection, either yourself as a veteran or the spouse of a
Spouse.
veteran, please get a hold of the VA office here in town to help explore to see if you're eligible for any benefits. You know, every person that is admitted into the nursing home, and I can't remember, this has been in place for a number of years, we're kind of like the frontline screeners for VA. We have a database that we need to go into, and if someone identifies that they're either a veteran or they're a spouse of a veteran, then we need to put this into the VA's database. What they're doing is they're trying to find people who maybe have fallen through the cracks, who might be eligible for benefits, and they just don't know where to find them. So they're taking that information that we're inputting in and reaching out to work with those people to see if there's any benefits that are available to them.
Thank you,
So-
because, you don't know what you don't know.
Well, and the nice thing about Good Shepherd here in town, and obviously I work there, but it is a VA contracted facility, and it is the only VA contracted facility
And
here
can you
in town.
explain that then?
So what that means is that if we have someone who is making a referral, they have a veteran status, they are 70% or higher in a service connection, then we work with the Veterans Association to see if their stay can be funded by.
I'm not for sure what you just said, in a service connection.
So that is a rating that the military gives.
Okay.
Disability rating.
See, you're smarter than I am back there. Thank you.
So, and plus there may be some, end-of-life services. We're in contact with VA to see if we can get that veteran's stay covered. So it's not a given. You have to meet those criteria. But our social workers work with VA, and it is a tremendous benefit for those who qualify.
So the folks in the room that are on Medicare, do you have problems? Does things come up like you're going like, what? Is it pretty seamless? Am I the only one that Medicare freaks me out? So I might be the only one, but yeah, I just, and I don't know if it's because I'm still working or that I haven't taken enough time to understand, and I truly don't. I'm the one sitting up here trying to lead the discussion, and I'm so confused with it.
What is the part that makes you nervous about Medicare?
It doesn't make me nervous. I don't understand it.
Okay.
I don't understand it. I don't understand the A, B. Is there only A, B, and D? Is there more letters in there?
Yeah.
Was there an F
Let's see.
or a G?
Well,
or
those are plans.
Those are
Okay.
supplement
Okay.
plans.
Okay.
So I think if maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, if you looked at where you're at right now, Medicare is your Blue Cross, your Blue Shield. That is your primary insurance that you have. Your supplement will pick up, like when you had just Blue Cross Blue Shield, most people had an 80-20. You went in, your insurance paid 80, you paid the 20. Now you've got Medicare who's stepping in, they're paying the 80, your supplement is paying the 20.
Ooh, was that like the Oprah aha moment? It was to me. I don't know about you guys, but
How
yeah.
does that make,
Joni?
are you comfortable with that?
Mhm, yeah.
Okay, very
No,
good.
you did a good job. That's right.
Well, I just went and had a physical, so you're saying I'm still gonna get a bill, because I just got a bill in the mail.
But you're,
Did you have your wellness? You won't get a bill. That's
Physicals
covered.
are,
I got a bill.
Oh, you did?
did
Did
you
they
get a
do
bill for like
tests?
lab work or something? Yeah,
that's probably what you got the bill for.
Yeah, lab,
But then does
blood work.
yep.
Hy-Vee pick up who is her primary? Hy-Vee is her
Hy-Vee,
primary,
Hy-Vee.
and then, okay.
So I'm paying the 20% that Hy-Vee's not paying back.
But
And-
but you're still on Medicare though, right, Joni?
She's on Medicare A.
A.
She doesn't have the B.
Oh, okay,
So Hy-Vee, yeah, so that's right, you're right, that's what I pay.
Yeah.
20%,
Okay.
yeah.
okay.
It'll be okay.
It just confuses me, because the other people I work with, they never can understand why I don't have
Part B.
B. But it's okay, I don't, right?
What is B?
B is the doctors and clinics.
Doctors
Doctors
and
and
clinics,
clinics, okay.
therapies.
Durable medical equipment. I have a CPAP. That's where it's covered under the Part B.
Okay.
And there are also some tricky situations with medication that are paid for Part B if the doctor or the clinic administers the medication, for instance, a shot. But if that client goes and picks it up at the pharmacy, which they did under their old 80-20 plan, gave them their shot, but now all of a sudden it's not covered with Medicare. So we found if he went back to his doctor's office, got the shot, instead of picking up at the pharmacy, it was covered.
How do you know that? How do you?
I learned it's different.
How does the general public know that?
Well, that's the advantage, I guess, to talking to someone like myself.
And which you
Or
can,
talking to
300,
the
not
pharmacy.
365 days a year, but you can talk to somebody. If that comes up, then you just call Mr. Ship and say, hey, explain this to me.
He's going to leave his cell phone number with you all tonight before he
No.
leaves.
I have it.
Most of the ads for Advantage include Part D, don't they?
Yes, yeah. So you don't need a separate,
And D when you get an Advantage plan, right?
right.
And then so the Advantage plans have other initials, have other letters? Because it did something I went with this lady in just to be, and I don't know why, because it was the blind leading the blind here. But she needed somebody, so I went with her, and I asked a lot of questions.
Bless you for that.
But she ended up staying on what she had because then they didn't, was it the F and then they went to the G, or Am I saying that right?
Could be, could be. The F plan.
Because she's about 90 right now,
Okay,
so.
she was probably on an F plan. F plans are very good.
and
They cover
encouraged her
everything.
To stay on that plan, you know, to
It-
keep it.
The trouble is the cost is going up very,
Okay.
very fast. They liked in birthdays that end in a 0 or a 5, they really like to take a jump. So I have had clients who have looked at going from an F plan to a G plan to reduce that monthly
But
premium.
they don't offer the F anymore, do they?
No,
Okay.
you had to be 65 January 1st, 2020.
Okay.
I moved here from out of state, and where we lived before with Medicare, you paid a flat rate regardless of how old you were.
Oh,
Here, it's, you said something about if your birthdays end in 5 and 0. Does that go on forever? Okay,
So can I ask what state that you came from?
Arkansas.
Arkansas, okay. I was thinking like, my brain went to Florida because a lot of people retire to Florida, so I didn't know if that,
I don't know if it's still the same, but when we moved here, that's the way
Okay.
it was. And it was a big jump just to, when we came here. And then it goes up.
The zip code, right? Zip code makes a difference.
the number of insurance carriers that, I'm trying to remember the term that is, of a flat rate has decreased through the years. So I don't even know if we have one that offers that. It's basically based on your birthday.
questions? Come on, you guys.
She's confused. She has a question.
You don't need to be shy.
I empathize, so you know I am.
Okay. The lady that I had for my health insurance, she passed away 2 years ago. Nobody has picked up her accounts.
So what
say
you
that-
just said, the lady that was helping you with this retired 2 years
She
ago?
passed away. She
Oh,
died 2 years ago.
sorry, passed away 2
Nobody
years
has
ago.
ever taken any over
So
her
who's
accounts.
helping you?
So I've been dealing directly with my insurance company, directly with them. I don't have anybody in between.
So had you used somebody else, because if this lady was helping you, she wasn't connected with your insurance company.
Okay, the lady that was helping me, she had Aetna, so I had Aetna insurance through
Okay.
her.
Okay.
And then
she's
she
sold.
died 2 years ago. Nobody took over her accounts. Nobody carries Aetna insurance. I had a lot of problems because I had to deal directly with the factory people. And then you go from, oh no, you gotta talk to this one, and then you gotta talk to this one. And finally, it took me a good 9 months to get that mess straightened around because there was nobody in between. But before that, I got roped into, and I'm not gonna mention which one got into Advantage, and he had lied to me. And so I dropped my health care in Blue Cross Blue Shield out of Kansas. I dropped it because I believed him. So then I knew, the head of the person, I can't think, that was with Blue Cross Blue Shield here. And I went up and I talked to him. And it was because of the Advantage plan, after I had taken the new insurance, before Aetna, my doctors wouldn't cover it.
Wouldn't
So
accept
then
it.
I had to get rid of that. I mean, it was just one big mess because the insurance rep wasn't honest with me. So then I called Blue Cross Blue Shield back in Kansas, and I said, can I get back with you again? And he said, Donna, we never wanted to lose you, but they said you can't come back. You go back to Kansas, we'll take you back right now. But he said, it's been 30 days, we can't do anything. So I stuck with Aetna, been working directly with the factory, or the company, and it's a mess. And I would like to find a rep or somebody here in town that does carry Aetna, but I haven't been able to find anybody.
What should she schedule an appointment to come in
I
and
think I
Yeah.
need to
talk to
schedule an
you?
appointment with you.
And just so you can, and then you can, you can put all your cards on the table, find out what your options are, then to find somebody or to move forward. Do you think that's good advice?
Huh?
I would reach out tomorrow and see if you can get on his appointments.
Yeah, I
calendar.
will.
Okay.
It's gonna fill up.
That really,
No, I know what's
It's
the
all,
number?
it's gonna be in here. I'm assuming, Dee, do you have your contact information in the folders that you put out?
Let's
You'll come
talk
down.
before
Okay.
you leave.
And then, okay, so
Yeah,
I
but
just,
will
just,
you, will it be an 800 number to where they gotta refer me to this, to this?
His personal cell phone is what I'm gonna go for you right here.
and remember, I have it too.
I did call SHIP to try to talk to somebody with SHIP quite a while back, and it was like, this one answered the phone, and then, no, you gotta call this number, and we gotta put you on hold, and then you use a hold, and.
That's gonna be.
Well,
his
we're gonna
job.
make that a whole lot easier for you. And should she, okay, just so, because of everything that she has going on right now, it's August. Should she come in and just talk to you right now before all, I mean, there's gonna be new changes coming, in October. But I just, my heart tells me you just need to talk to somebody now about, and try and get a good handle on this.
Because with my Aetna, I think I'm paying $264.22 a month.
It's not bad.
You said that's not too bad?
That's not
No,
too bad.
that's not too bad.
Some big medical, like $4,000 was one of my tests, but they picked it up for Medicare, I don't know who did that. They got paid.
So you pay $260 out of your pocket every month?
Mhm.
200, or that comes off your social security?
No,
Yeah,
well, after your social security, but not automatically from your social security. You're issuing the check.
I'm sending a check every month. To Aetna, I'm paying him a check every month.
Yep.
Because of the mix-up we had before, I'm not.
Okay.
doing this again. So I just send him a direct check.
What is the average that people pay for a supplement? Does that all vary, or?
I would say that amount that you shared is probably on the lower end. I see Blue Cross Blue Shield anywhere from $4.25 to $4.40 a month, based on the plans.
If you're only on social security, you have to pay that out?
Yes.
You've got to pay the premium. There's one or two companies that are actually higher than that.
But your states are different too, because my coverage, Blue Cross Blue Shield in Kansas is a lot better than here. So it differs according to the states.
It's an eye-opening.
Blue Shield. I switched from Blue Cross Blue Shield in Iowa and reduced my payment by $200 a month.
And you went to another supplement or to a Medicare Advantage plan?
No, another supplement.
Okay.
So the one thing,
With your help, that helped me get my
well, you're
options.
doing good things here, Dee. Good for you.
I try.
So I think, as you're going through this, and it's a confusing aspect. Some of us have dealt with insurance companies our entire life. We know the struggles, we know on the phone with the company directly. We know we've been transferred to different countries back and forth. We just know that that's the process. The one thing that I really want you all to know is when you're picking your insurance, this is your insurance. So know what benefits you're picking. Know what your coverage is. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. Because on my end, I don't particularly care when people are not happy with me when they find out that their insurance doesn't cover something that they thought it would, and I'm putting a bill down before them.
Are there any red flags because it sounds like she was taken advantage of or lied to? I mean, are there red flags for people to watch out for?
Well, I think always be very critical and cautious. There are some people that will call on the phone. My mother, I think she would be fine with me sharing this, is 87. She has a directive. If anyone calls her on the phone to talk to her about her prescription drug or her health insurance coverage, she knows the line. My daughter takes care of that. You call her. Because I've told her what I want her to do because I'm looking out for her best interest. And that's what you really need to do, is to make sure, back when we first had Medicare Advantage plans, and this was in the very beginning days, and I feel like I'm dating myself just a bit here, but there were people who were signing up for prescription drug plans, and what they also didn't know was that they were converting from traditional Medicare to a Medicare Advantage plan. So there are things that can happen. But even in your supplements, I'm going to give you an example of a person that we had that had a Part A stay, which meant we were billing Medicare for the days that they were in the facility. They had a coinsurance plan. They thought their coinsurance plan, so if we remember right, Medicare pays for the first 20 days in a long-term or in a nursing facility at the full rate. So you paid nothing for day 1 through 20. Day 21 through 100 is subject to the coinsurance that Medicare assigns. So this person stayed past the 20 days. So each day, we're adding another day of coinsurance on there. Her plan that she chose did not cover the Part A stay.
Should she have known that, or how could that have?
That's where I'm really challenging you to be savvy. You know, it's not enough to say I have insurance anymore. It's what do you have? And what will I be responsible for?
So
And to know those things, because
so does a nursing home kind of look at what they have, or try to? I mean, I
we
know,
try to, yes. So, you know, our end of it we're so much more complex than we were. There's some of us, you know, dinosaurs that have been around a long time. We talk about how different it is. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you could be sitting in the hospital, we get the referral, we're looking at everything on our side. You can't come until your insurance company authorizes you to come and will make payment. So some days that could be 2 to 3 days waiting to get that authorization. You know, the other thing is if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, who are the providers in town that accept your plan? You know, is there someone, or would you have to go out of town? I think that if I were you, this is now more than ever, you need to know what you have and what will be covered. You're always going to have a few things that maybe a test or a procedure, depending on how it's coded, that might be a little bit, but know the basics of your plan. Does it cover the Part A coinsurance days if I'm in a long-term care facility? Does it cover the 20% if I'm in a long-term care facility and I'm not at that higher level of care? Is it covering the coinsurance if I have therapy? Know these answers because you don't want the surprises. The surprises cost you money.
Is that normally in the literature that an Advantage plan would have?
Remember, so you sign up and they'll send you this big book of everything. It's called the fine print, and it's some great entertaining reading. But you know, ask the questions beforehand. So yes, and to kind of circle back to that, we are running an insurance verification on everyone that's coming in. Now, I'm not sure if other facilities are doing that, so I will say, you know, what we do, but we're trying to alert if people will have out-of-pocket costs. Are we perfect at that? No, no one's perfect, but we do have a screening process where we're trying to say, hey, you could have, we might not know how much, but we can see something in there that says there's going to be a member responsibility, especially with an Advantage plan.
Is there a difference or something somebody should think about if they're in North Iowa for 6 months and in Florida or Arizona or somewhere like that for 6 months? That's a D answer.
I would, yes, not all Medicare Advantage plans travel well. So you're in your area, you're good, but you can get treatment if you go through the emergency room. Mm-hmm. But there's all sorts of prior authorizations and stuff like that.
You're a snowbird. Have you had problems?
I haven't because I was on a very good plan to start with.
Good.
But when I decided to switch, I wanted to make sure my plan that I switched to was the same as what I had before. So he was very good at directing me in some areas that I think I'm on a good plan now.
Good.
That is an issue though for people that travel.
Mm-hmm.
And in particular, you're always traveling.
Especially doctors. I mean, because they're, you know, like if you can only see a certain doctor or whatever.
Or a certain specialist, that's where you really. if that's-
Prior authorization and, yeah.
And
So-
on the road, you don't always have, it's not clear to you, who in this area would I go to? Until something happens, you know, you're not usually look into it, depending on how much you travel and if you're really moving from place to place.
Any little tidbits for people that do travel on what they should know ahead of time instead of when they're put into that situation?
Well, I think if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, find out if some do travel now. There's more and more pressure on Medicare Advantage. It used to be University of Iowa hospitals wouldn't accept. Mayo Clinic is back to not accepting some. So you want to know what you have and where they're accepting. A traditional Medicare with a supplement, any place that accepts Medicare, you're good to go.
And if you do have Mayo Clinic, and there's a Mayo in Arizona and Florida, am I correct on that?
Yes.
And they would, I mean, it's just, Mayo is Mayo?
I don't know about Florida. The Scottsdale one, I had a client who switched away from his Medicare Advantage plan because they would not accept it. And the plan he went with for the supplement did not ask any medical questions, and he was in.
Nice, okay.
And that is one thing to remember, you know, with the Advantage plan, everything is authorized. You know, are you in network? Are you out of network? We've had people before who we've had a referral on that we were not in network with that insurance company. So we had to tell them, we are not in network. Your insurance will not pay benefits. You will need to look for someone who is in network with your company. You look at the authorizations. You know, that is something the Medicare Advantage plan has to give authorization for you to go somewhere. If we have someone who comes in from the hospital and they're looking at a rehab stay, we will get that authorization. We typically will have 5 to 7 days. And at the end of the 5 to 7 days, then we need to send all of the person's medical information in to the utilization review. They will review that information and they'll go one of two ways. They'll either assign us another 5 to 7 days of treatment and that they will cover, or they will say they're not meeting the criteria, issue the notice of non-coverage. 48 hours later, their payer source switch. So we have some people who may get multiple, just depending on their progress and how they're doing. If they are not seeing the progress in the notes that go in, then they will issue the notice of non-coverage that they will no longer be paying for that stay.
Wow.
So there's a lot to think about. You're making big choices that have, you know, financial implications either way.
And it changes all the time.
Well, it does. You know, and here's the thing: your supplement premiums. Let's be honest. Does anything ever go down? I don't see things really going down ever. Your biggest hope is that maybe you'll have a marginal increase for the year. I think, and I take that back. I believe my mom might have had, last year was the first year I did not see an increase. She stayed the same at her supplement. But, you know, I know it's confusing.
And does it go down? Because I think the guy that I go through, I think is it after 67? Does something go down the older you get? I mean, does that I don't know. I think because I'm still working. So
I don't think so.
No.
I'm not aware of anything.
okay. All right, I thought he said, yeah, that something changed. If I was still working, then something might go down.
And that I don't
Okay.
know specifically.
Do they? Thanks, Deb. She pays the, yeah, thanks,
She
Deb.
does a good job for you.
Yeah?
I know, and she's retiring July of 27, so, anyway.
Did I miss an, oh,
Yeah, she said that. She's given me a lot of notice, but she's irreplaceable, so, yeah.
How about you? You gonna keep going?
I don't know what else to do, so, yeah, I know. We have a question, thank you.
so did I misunderstand you when you were talking about the nursing home? Did you say that if you have regular Medicare, it's better if you have to be in a nursing home? Did I just misinterpret that?
I didn't use the words better. I want to make sure that
Okay.
I have
You
no
don't wanna
favorites
say it's
either
better,
way.
Nothing's better, okay.
So if you have Medicare Advantage, then you have to have a prior authorization. If you're going to be at that higher level of care where the room and board is going to be paid by your Medicare Advantage plan. If you have Medicare, you do not need a prior authorization.
Do they pay differently, though?
And then it's 80/20?
For Medicare, and for your Medicare Advantage, it depends on if the facility is contracted or if they're not. And then there's contract rates that are happening within that as well. So what you will see is, do you have a deductible from if you have an Advantage plan, have you met that deductible? Will you have any member responsibility? The nursing home will never assign you member responsibility. That is strictly done by your provider, your Medicare Advantage plan. So with Medicare, you know what it is. With Medicare, you know that when you come in, the first 20 days are fully covered, and then days 21 through 100 are subject to coinsurance. This year, 2026, the coinsurance daily rate is $217 a day. So if you do not have a coinsurance plan, that is what you would be billed. If you had the coinsurance plan that covers a Part A stay, then your supplemental plan would be paying that on your behalf.
What kind of, when you say supplemental plan, I don't understand what you're saying.
That's, I think, your Advantage.
It's a separate insurance. So if you have Medicare, you either have Medicare alone or you have Medicare with a supplemental plan that's picking up that 20% that Medicare isn't paying for. So you either pay for the plan to have the insurance, or you say, no, I'm not going to have a supplemental plan. I'm going to pay myself that 20% to whatever providers I have throughout the course.
And if you went into D, then you explain that stuff. Am I right on that? And so people know, I mean, this is just educating everybody. So you just know then what does, okay, this is, and I've got the Medicare down now. I got that 80/20 down. But then you flow into the Advantage plans on what if they're going to pick up that 20 or a portion of the 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what, it's hard to pinpoint that down of knowing what your responsibility is going to be.
And it changes every year.
So
Let me kind of change directions. A lot of my clients, especially the ones that I deal with just strictly on the telephone, they need an advocate. Lots of times I will ask them if they want to designate someone as a representative who can speak for you when maybe you can't, but a person who can be an advocate for you in a situation where you don't know, you're kind of lost, you're at a disadvantage. And so that's when someone like me says, if you would like to designate a representative, if you can, have someone in mind.
Makes sense.
and there's no shame in that.
Mm-mm.
If you have a friend, obviously they've established quite a connection here.
Quite.
Your children, if there's one of your children who excels at some of this, there's no shame in getting help with this. And it's also good for them to know what benefits you have.
Oh, and that leads me into something else. We have a giveaway. We do a giveaway every time. And those friends or those people, you know, the people that care about you, you want to, I know one of our seminars was getting your ducks in a row. You want to make sure that you have, so they know everything. We've got back here a knockbox. It's NOK, next of kin. That we give one of those away every time, and that will, don't just set it up on the shelf. Use it, fill it out. It's got a lot of good information. Deb, Andy, you guys have both done one, and it gives you, it walks you through what information to put in there. And some Realtor Buddy friends of mine, they did a book, which is a baby version of the knockbox, but it's still, it's all putting your information into one place. In case you can't speak for yourself, it will speak for you. It will, basically, you guys want to be the ones to make your decisions, and you want to have this information, and you want it easier for family, kids, anybody. So anyway, giveaway, Mary, make her draw. I know I'm picking on you a lot, Mary.
This is for the knockbox.
Knockbox.
Is it Joni mine?
Ah, Joni. Look at you, you got work to do.
I can tell you this story. Of all the 37 years at Hy-Vee, I've never won anything at the Christmas party.
Today is your day. Congratulations.
Okay, for the board. Your meat shapes of information.
Susan Clausen.
Susan?
Oh my gosh, thank you.
We have two Susans.
Susan Clausen. All right, look at you. I'm going to send this home with you. Again, same type deal. You're going to put, you can put information and everything in there, and you guys, that's just, in
If
my
you have a
heart, I feel
pen
that's very
and
important.
there is an evaluation
So-
in the back of the folder I gave you, I would like some input. Usually we do a much longer, bigger, you know. So how did this go for you? What worked, what didn't? What would you like to see?
And he's a call away.
And then leave that.
And get in and you've got the phone number just to call, and and how many of you did you say, how many SHIP people
There's
are there?
8 people now. We have 8. And I just looking at a couple of dates that I had open, so this Wednesday.
Is the best way,
What's that? I think that's also a Wednesday.
oh, nice. And it's got
Of
a direct
September.
number in there,
Oh,
or
I
a phone
didn't
number,
put
not an
September.
800
So-
number.